Well, hello, my beautiful Capricorn. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your career and money reading for the end of April right through the end of May 2024. I've already cleansed your space and I've meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings. I do not take your money, e-gifts, donations. I'm not on Facebook, WhatsApp, PayPal, Telegram, or Patreon. I will never ask you for your credit card details. I will never ask for personal details. And I'll also never give you a cell phone number to call. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. I'm going to cleanse your space hourly, so please be mindful there's going to be 3 loud sounds. Let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Capricorn, this is your career and money reading. I'm going to get all of your cards first before I connect to an outcome. We've just moved into Taurus season, and that's all about tapping into the energy to put new money-making ideas into practice. You may also feel a little bit more inclined to focus on your budget, repayment plans during this period, your acquisitions as well. Also, it's a period where you're going to feel more motivated, ambitious, and move closer towards successful goalposts or whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. So let's see what is coming out for you there. Also, this time period, make sure that you erect healthier boundaries to value your skill set and make sure that you are not underestimated, undervalued in any shape or form. So you may be looking at all the effort that you put into everything that you do and making sure that you have fair recompense, that there is reciprocity there, okay? Now, the first card you have is the Sun. So this is about you being energized. Now, as we have Mars being seen, and I will mention that a little bit more in the monthly readings, Mars comes into view, and that means more passion, more intensity, more drive, more ambition. So I definitely see that this is a time period where you see what you're capable of. You're going to have more energy, more focus than you've had in quite some time. And you got the Strength card there as well. So I definitely see that you are really going from strength to strength in your career sector, but it's more than that. This is about you being really positive, really seeing what it is that you have as a goal in sight and working really hard towards it. I feel there's tenacity here. There's intense drive, and yeah, you're following your heart. Some of you are actually going to be offered some level of promotion or some managerial role where you manage a team is what I've got coming out here as well. Also, I'm picking up a bit of an energy where I feel the month of May, it's almost like something comes in really quickly, almost like catches you unawares, but you rise to the occasion. So it could be, for example, someone was due to give a presentation or was due to, work heavily on some aspect of a project and they're off sick, or, they bail out and you have to take the reins. You may have to step up and just do it. There may also be like a sudden opportunity that comes in and suddenly you're faced with a decision as to whether you want to take it or not. And suddenly I just get this energy of you like just launching yourself into it and it going really well. So if there's something that shows up and you feel, oh, it's caught you unawares, it's actually a really great opportunity for you to showcase your skill set and really show what you're made of. But also, I feel it is a major doorway to success, okay? So I'm really excited about this, but it does feel like you're not expecting it, or, I mean, you may have a hunch. You know, you've got the King of Cups there, so you have a lot of intuition. So you're tapping into that sense of knowingness. It's almost like if there's something really important and you're like, you know what, I just got a feeling this is going to happen. Deep down somewhere, you're kind of preparing for it because I feel your intuition is tapping into that vibration to know that you're going to have to not prove yourself. I don't feel like you're proving yourself. I just feel that it just feels like you have to rearrange plans perhaps, or you have to just do something above and beyond, right? And I feel like you're definitely capable of that. But sometimes you may feel a little bit fed up. Why do you always have to go above and beyond? Why can't people be a little bit more organized? If things were a little bit more organized, then, everybody could streamline their energy. Things would work on time. So some of you may feel a little bit like grouchy at first, but actually you'll realize that it's a really great opportunity for you. Okay, so let's move on from that energy. I definitely see that you're going to rise to the occasion, and people in positions of power and authority are actually going to be noticing how you bring your A game. So if you work for a company, for example, this could be, your bosses just seeing you rise to the occasion and really save the day. If you work for yourself, it could be people in your industry going, whoa, that was a bit of a curveball, and Capricorn dealt with it really well. I want to collaborate with Capricorn. Or they may actually, in some way offer you some sort of lucrative partnership or deal, or even, maybe even a new client comes on board because you've risen to an occasion where you went that extra mile. So I'm just going to leave that energy there. I'm definitely feeling it, but it's very exciting. It's nothing to worry about. It's almost like it just rises and you just know what to do. So let's move on. Your first card there, of course, is the Sun. Now, the Sun card, of course, is all about positivity. I feel like you're trying to really get clear on what it is that you love doing. Because, of course, there's always going to be aspects of whatever we do that we love, and, of course, other not so much. So it could be that you love what you do right now, but maybe there's too much administrative work. Maybe you have to answer to a boss if you're in a company, or if you are working on your own. It can feel sometimes a little bit isolating that the solutions or the answers aren't readily available to you, and you always have to go hunting. You may feel that you spend a lot of time doing extra things that perhaps could have been easier if you delegated, or if there was just an easier process. So I definitely see here right now that you're trying to be really positive. You are I see you growing in your career sector. I actually feel there's a really great month ahead for you. And normally things are difficult, but actually I feel this month things are a little bit easier for you. The Sun card is a card that kind of reminds you to celebrate yourself. Basically, it says there, celebrate yourself, connecting with your inner child. So that's twofold. It's really about you acknowledging that you're really talented and gifted at what you do. And I'm not blowing smoke up you know what. This card really means that you're flourishing in your career and you're someone who stands out above the rest. It indicates that, you are starting to feel really confident in your skill set. And if you haven't been recently, I definitely see that you will be in May. Something comes in May which really sets you apart from everybody else there. Also, I get a sense here that some of you with the Sun card, you are, how can I put that? It feels very much like you're looking at your career path in like a bird's eye view, like you're getting a bigger picture of where you want to take things. So I feel like there's strategy here of seeing to the future, and there's a brighter future for you to look forward to there as well. Now, also, I feel some of you may have been recently feeling very drained or unmotivated in some aspect, but May sees you really flourish, and that motivation, that drive, that intensity, it returns. That lust for your career returns as well. So I definitely see it's like full steam ahead for you in the month of May. And although you're going to be busy, I feel like you're going to enjoy it. Now, we do have the King of Cups there. The King of Cups, of course, is a leader. It is someone who leads and has a lot of respect, commands respect, someone who is listened to, but also someone who is really fair. So I feel some of you might be stepping into a leadership role or a managerial role, and you're going to, really have a team that you will guide, and they will actually really respect you. I feel with the Three of Swords, though, it feels like a difficulty in some way to get to this position, or you've experienced hardship to get to this role. So I feel like, there's an energy here of you really leading with strength and vigor, but it was really hard to get to this role in the first place. You know the hard work that you put in to get to this level of promotion. And I feel, there could be some contracts signed in the month of May here. But I feel some of you may also desire a little bit more spontaneity in your working practices. So for example, if you have your own business, because the King of Cups can be an entrepreneur, you love what you do, but it's hard. Three of Swords, it's super hard. And You know all the hard work that goes into whatever it is that you do, and you're grateful for the position that you're in right now, because I feel like even though things are hard, you do tend to check in and remind yourself how grateful you are for the things that you have. And, of course, you feel there are things that you have not achieved yet, and you're still striving for those things. King of Cups, I also feel some of you may have felt that you've hit a plateau in your career sector right now. You've come as far as you can in a certain division or a certain area, and you want to expand on your knowledge. I mean, I don't see that some of you are deciding to leave, although I have a little small percentage of my beautiful Capricorns out there deciding to move into a new sector or change direction. Could be that you're leaving the role and moving into a new opportunity, and I feel like you're going to really love it. But I feel the majority of my beautiful Capricorns right now are trying to reimagine the role where you're at and basically bring a little bit more excitement into it. So you may be changing your approach in whatever it is you do. You could be staying in the same company, and I see some restructures going on there. I feel some of you may actually be seconded to a different branch or be thinking about actually, moving abroad in some way. It could be that you're deciding to become a little bit more nomadic in what you do. So you may be leaving a company, or you may be actually starting up your own practice, for example. This is a great month for launching something. I would definitely say, put things into practice before the 18th of May there. Not because there's anything untoward after May. It just means you're going to have extra luck because Jupiter is really making its presence known before the 18th of May. And then, of course, it becomes hidden, and then that auspicious energy, it dims a little bit. Doesn't go away completely, but it does sort of take the attention off the good luck and the abundance there. Now, also the King of Cups means that the majority of my beautiful Capricorns are tapping into what you love about your career. And of course, the Three of Swords there, what you don't love. So I feel like some of you are making some adjustments. You may be thinking about delegating, if that's possible. May not be possible for everybody. Some of you may even outsource parts of whatever it is that you do. And some of you may even feel with that Three of Swords there that things are really difficult right now. You kind of love what you do, but you're finding it really hard in the industry. So I feel across the board, no matter what industry you work in right now, whether you work for a company or whether you work for yourself, there are some major restructures going on, and things are difficult. I'm not going to lie to you. 2024, 2025, they are going to be highly pressurized years, and there's a lot of restructure going on. But I definitely see you looking at your skill set to see what sets you apart, because you are someone who is very gifted, very talented, and very knowledgeable about what you do. Now, I really want to tap into that Three of Swords to see what's going on there, because the Three of Swords can indicate for some of you, especially with the King of Cups there, you're working really hard, but you may feel like your love life is suffering because you haven't had enough time to pay it attention. Some of you may also be going through some personal heartbreak or sadness or even grief behind the scenes, and you're trying to launch yourself into your career in order to, channel your energy, because I feel like you're trying to be professional with what you do. And I'm sending you a huge hug out there if you're going through something personal. Could be a divorce, could be a separation, could be that you're in grief. I'm just sending you so much love. It's really hard to do everything. And, I feel if anyone can do everything, it is you, but also you need to check in with yourself when there is a moment that you need to take a respite. With that Hermit energy, it can be sometimes you don't always have to be on the go. You're a human being, not a human doing. So give yourself a little bit of rest or a moment to recharge your batteries and really allow yourself to be deep in thought about your next steps. I'm just going to pull a card on that Three of Swords, because the Three of Swords can also indicate that there is a need for diplomacy in the working environment, especially if with that Seven of Swords in the resistance position, it can indicate someone who perhaps was keeping a secret in the working environment, or perhaps there's intuitively something that is going on behind the scenes and you can feel it. I feel like you're thinking about your next moves before this is implemented. So it could be that your company, if you work for a company, is merging behind the scenes, or there's new contracts, or there's new affiliations going on there, and you're not too happy with it. Perhaps you're disappointed with the way that the company is conducting itself right now, or there is some downsizing going on and you just feel a little bit hesitant, or just disappointed that things are taking a certain turn. You may have enjoyed what you do, but you may feel that there are some changes in the industry, or especially if you work for yourself, maybe some changes in the industry, policies, rules, regulations that make it harder to do what you do. There may even be some blockages in a chain of events that need to happen in whatever it is that you do, and it just feels like there's a spoke in the wheel. It just feels like things are difficult. So it may be that if you need certain products to run your business, there may be a shortage, or it could be that, if you're in the working environment, technical stuff keeps breaking down perhaps, or, if you are someone who actually works in IT, you may find that there's new computer programs coming in, new software that you need to remain abreast of, and you are constantly learning to be flexible and work around these difficulties. Nine of Swords there. So Nine of Swords can be a card of worry. It can be a card of, something is a problem that you are trying to solve right now. I mean, the Nine of Swords can also be that you feel haunted by excess work, or, if you're stepping into a leadership position, and it could be suddenly, as I said, there could be you suddenly being thrust into the spotlight, you could start to feel a little bit anxious or nervous, but I see that you rise to the occasion, and I see that, you really got this, and it's actually quite exciting. Sometimes we feel really daunted with change, but the universe sends change, and it's the one constant in this lifetime. Everything changes. The seasons change, we change, circumstances change, and I feel like, you're really good at being flexible, but we may be a little bit cautious about the next steps or the road ahead. But actually, the universe tends to give us a little bit of a curveball on purpose to align us with a better opportunity. Remember, what is meant for you will never pass you by. And if you feel there's been some sort of rejection, it is protection and redirection towards something better. Sometimes those doors that remain locked are locked for a reason. It means one of two things. Either the opportunity is not ready for you to have, or the opportunity is never meant for you because there's something better. There's another door that's opening up for you that is going to be more lucrative. Sometimes also the universe sends us a locked door and a brick wall for us to rest, for us to lean on. It's not there as a blockage. It's there to say, you've been doing a lot. Slow down. You don't have to be always doing. It's time to take a pause, reflect on a path. So we do have the World card. For some of you, especially if you've come to this reading and you've been made redundant, or a project has come to an end. If you're a freelancer and you're like, what's next? You may be a little bit nervous or anxious about the next steps there. Some of you, it could also be that someone in a position in the company that you actually really enjoy working with has decided to leave, and now you're like, it's difficult because there may be new people stepping in and you don't know how they're going to run the company, or you don't know how they're going to run your industry. It could feel like there's some major shifts and changes that you're not highly comfortable with at this time, or completely comfortable with at this time. Now, also, some of you, you're trying to tie up loose ends because you're taking a vacation or you're thinking about going traveling, and it's a lot. You may feel overwhelmed with work, but I definitely see that you're going to be very methodical and prioritize whatever it is you're doing, and you're going to be successful. You're going to reach your targets, reach your goals. This is a card of success. Okay, the World card is completion. It's, obtaining your goal. It means you're going to be very goal oriented. I would definitely say that, especially if you love what you do, don't do too many things, because sometimes it can burn you out, even if you love what you're doing. Many years ago, when I was, doing certain things, I absolutely loved what I was doing. Okay, I had 3 different jobs, and I was going from one to another to another. And although I loved what I was doing, one of the jobs was very, very toxic, and it was taking a toll on my health. But at the same time, I was in a cycle of doing, and it was completely alluring to do it all. Okay, because I just lost myself in the whole process, to the point where sometimes I didn't have time for myself, didn't have time time to eat. I'd have to go from one job to the other and just be like racing there. And, I would just go, you know what, it's okay. And suddenly I got in a cycle that was actually not very good for me. And I had to realize that I'm burning myself out. So sometimes we have to take stock of setting healthy boundaries, especially if you're an entrepreneur and you work for yourself, because sometimes, you may give yourself a schedule and you may not stick to that schedule. Suddenly you find yourself working 24/7 and you've got no time for you. So I definitely see some of you are looking at that right now. Also, I feel with the Three of Swords and the Nine of Swords there, this can be like doing a lot of overthinking or feeling something is super hard, but actually you're on the road to success. You're going to complete your goals. And some of you may be thinking about, as I said, being more nomadic in your working industry, or you're thinking about making a move across water. It could be that you're moving to a different country and it feels like a bit of a headache. It just feels like a lot of pressure. There's a lot of legal stuff that you have to work through, and it's hard. So you're just, I feel like you're very cerebral at this time, and it's almost like you're expecting the worst. However, you're getting the best. So I do want you to be aware that things are going to get infinitely better for you. But with that Three of Swords there, I feel it's almost like you're turning a page or you're in a transition period. And transition periods, they can be hard. So if you've currently, been made redundant or lost your job or left a toxic situation and you're currently looking for work, and this is before you came to this reading. I don't want you to feel this is happening in May. I feel this is before you came to this reading. If you're currently looking for a role, and of course the job market is very difficult right now, despite what some people say, I'm feeling an energy that things are difficult. There is a new role coming in, and it's actually a role that requires your skill set, your knowledge, and it is going to be a higher sort of status than what you were in before. So I feel like there's a new role, new responsibility, but also a new title, and I feel like you command respect in this role. So it could be a managerial role. It's definitely a step up is what I see, and you will celebrate the month of May, especially at the end of it, okay? Because it's almost like you don't allow yourself to celebrate until you know it's finalized. So, and for those of you who are currently putting your resume out there, looking for new opportunities because you feel like you've hit a glass ceiling or you've done everything you can with the role that you are in right now. You've established yourself because the King of Cups is a very established role. This can be that you're quietly like quitting or quietly putting your resume out there, hoping to find a new opportunity. And I really get a large amount of Capricorns doing a lot of brainstorming, thinking about launching your own business or becoming your own boss, or that's what you're working towards, because you do have the Hermit there, which is a desire to potentially go solo. So I feel some of you are trying to think of things that you can do from home. Some of you may already have a work from home position and you're feeling a little bit isolated and you're trying to integrate yourself a little bit more. This could be through networking or just joining groups of people that perhaps do what you do, so that you can bounce ideas of each other, or that you can just vibe with other people. So I feel some of you are reaching out in those different ways in your career sector. But the Hermit card, this is in the reverse at first. It will go into the upright by the end of the month. So the Hermit, when you get this card, it can indicate that some of you feel that you're in a repetitive cycle, that there's a lot of people that you work with right now that are making silly mistakes. There may be low workers' morale, for example, sloppy work, office politics, and you're just feeling like you're the person who's got it all together. Even though things are difficult, you feel that you're organized and that you're on point, and everybody around you is just falling apart or slipping into a cycle of not really caring about what they do because they feel there is no incentive to. Sometimes we can get in a cycle of repeat when we do work because, of course, we have certain tasks to do every day and it becomes a repetitive cycle. And that means that you're really good at what you do because you're doing it so often, you're becoming the master or the mistress of that craft. So you're someone who is highly skilled, but you require a little bit more spontaneity, a little bit more fun in your work. So you may be actually trying to find new ways to enjoy what you do. So as I said at the beginning, I feel the majority of you are not wanting to leave whatever it is that you are doing. So it could be that you're like remaining in the same sector but not leaving the company, or you're like moving into a different department though, or it could be that you're leaving that company but sort of moving into the same sector, but in a different position, something that's more exciting, more bold, and more in alignment with your true life's calling and mission. But with that Hermit energy, it says rest and look within, take time to reflect and look within. So, I mean, I feel the month of May is not going to give you much time for reflection, because I feel, you're going to be launched into something suddenly that you have to give your all to. And I feel like it's going to be exciting, but also I feel like it's going to be exhausting. So if you can carve out a moment of time to, reflect, but also just to recharge your batteries, because some of you are like burnt out or feeling overwhelmed with more work. I mean, with the Hermit there and the Seven of Swords and the Four of Wands, this can indicate, especially those two cards, can indicate that perhaps there is a lot of downsizing going on, people leaving environments because it just isn't rewarding, or there's some restructure going on there, and things are being delegated or passed your way. So you're getting more work and you're finding it overwhelming, and you're just wondering if the incentives to stay are worth it. So some of you may negotiate a better deal this month. There may be some sort of appraisal going on there, but ultimately, I feel you're thinking more about your career path. I mean, of course, the money is important, but no pentacles have shown up here for you. I will pull some cards later to see what financially is going on there. But I feel with that King of Cups, you put a lot of effort into everything that you do. And now you're thinking about taking more control over your career. And some of you are trying to either move into a position where you're a consultant, you work for yourself, or even, using that knowledge that you have to create a course online to set up like a second stream of income. So you have some passive income going on there. So I feel a lot of you are thinking about branching out in some way in your career sector, just so that you feel rewarded and also that you're expanding in some way. Now, with the Seven of Swords, I mean, it's in the resistance position at first, so, it will go into the upright. So this can indicate that, some of you want to free yourself up from, a cycle of repeat, or you may even feel that you are unappreciated or just go unnoticed. The Hermit can be to blend in the background, but the Sun card tells me that you have a desire to shine right now, to showcase your skill set, to really attach your energy to your vision, your drive, and no one's going to get in your way. So I feel some of you may even be keeping new ideas to yourself at this time until they are properly formulated, and then you'll reveal them. This could be, as I said, launching a new business or a new idea there. And I feel this Seven of Swords, it can often be misconstrued, this Seven of Swords, because, of course it connects to, perhaps, something not being readily available in information. It could be someone being dishonest or someone hiding something. I feel like you're not being dishonest and you're not hiding something, but I feel like you could be working quietly on private plans. But also it's a card of seeking more independence. So some of you could feel that there are people in the company that you work for or in the industry that you work for that are very old school, and they may have a level of control or micromanaging that you feel is overwhelming or stifling, and you just have a desire for more freedom and independence in your role because you're more than capable of doing what you're doing, so you do not appreciate being told how to do what you do because you've got the knowledge. So some of you may actually decide to leave a position or leave a department through, a promotion, or maybe even ask to move into a different sector because you just want to get away from a certain person who may be like playing hardball. I do see with that Seven of Swords also, there's an energy here of feeling a little bit stressed, but I feel, this is you recognizing that there's nothing to be stressed about because it will be in the reverse position. I feel like you're managing stress levels at this time. You may take a quick break or trip during the month of May just to relieve the pressure. And that's why I feel like some of you are tying up loose ends, trying to get it all organized before you take that trip. And if you're actually training someone to do something that you're doing whilst you're away, especially if you work for a company, or maybe you're outsourcing whilst you're away to a different company, if you're an entrepreneur, I feel like part of you, when you return, you're going to be a little bit disappointed that they didn't like bring their A game, or they're not capable of doing the work that you do. So you may have to revisit something and correct it. So again, that may be a little bit annoying, but it also establishes that you're so good at what you do that you're above the competition. So take it as a win, celebrate yourself, and see that actually, you know, not everybody is capable of the success that you're aligned with at this moment in time. Now, we also have the Four of Wands. It's in the resistance position at first. So this can indicate some level of conflict in the working environment. It could be someone who perhaps is not pulling their weight. I feel like there could be a conversation there, or perhaps this is something that you're just keeping an eye on right now. And I mean, when it goes into the upright, like this, I feel it could be that you're launching something from home. Some of you independent businesses are more in alignment with who you are. You're a natural born leader, and I definitely see there is something creative that perhaps you've been potentially trying to get off the ground or formulate in your mind, or really like strategically move towards, that is going to move closer to fruition in the month of May. And you will celebrate this. I mean, with that Four of Wands, this is a card of celebration. It is a card of, you know, some good times ahead, and basically being acknowledged, celebrated for your work. I feel there may also be an important connection that comes in for you in the month of May, where this person has either new knowledge to impart and help you on your journey, perhaps even something that you've been digging for quite some time, may actually have the experience that you're hoping to have. For example, if you're trying to, you know, be more nomadic in your career, because I feel there's travel here. Some of you may be wanting to, you know, go across the world and work, and you may be looking into different avenues, but there are, of course, lots of legalities that go along with that. So some of you may be finding that the information is not readily available, or there's a lot of jargon there and it's hard to sort through the stuff. You may meet someone who is doing what you aspire to do, and they are like, you know, well, it's easy. You just need to get in contact with this person and, you know, follow this line of inquiry, and it's just going to be really smooth sailing for you. And you're going to be really thankful that this new person came across your path. Remember, people do not cross our paths by accident. They're there for a reason. So whatever it is you're manifesting right now, you're actually going to see that lots of opportunities and people are lining up to help you in your endeavors. Now, it feels like a bit of a milestone that happens in your career in the month of May, something to celebrate. This, as I said, could be a promotion or a move into a new sector. I feel with the Four of Wands, there is something financial to celebrate, because when you apply it to a career reading, it means celebrate yourself, and you've got two cards to indicate that, but it also indicates that you've reached some level or milestone. So it could be that you're elevating in finances, could be a bonus, could also be a small increase in your finances. It feels like a milestone. It feels like it's not what you're hoping for, but it feels like something, as like a step towards whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. Because I feel this month is more about stepping stones and seeing that you've aligned yourself with prosperity, but also success, and being appreciated for what you bring to the table. Now, some of you, don't shoot the messenger when I say this, I'm picking up a small energy, and a song has just come up as well. So I'm like, oof, okay, there's a connection here. Some of you may have been doing something that you love, but you found it really hard, okay? I feel like you're not the sort of person to give up on something, but also sometimes we need to recognize that we can have a different approach, okay? If we have a different approach, things can be easier. So you may discover a new way of doing something and not give up on it. You know, if we're evolving away from something that is no longer meant for us, and we feel deep down it's the right path to just let go of something and, you know, move on to something new, then that means you're maturing and you're setting really high standards for yourself, but also for other people. So you're acknowledging that, you know, you value your skill set and your worth, and that you're not allowing anyone to underestimate you or undervalue you. So therefore, you're taking your skills elsewhere if you feel like you're not appreciated. But I'm just getting an energy here of you not giving up on something just because it's hard. So again, it feels like this energy of you being thrust into something that may be difficult in the month of May, but it's not, because you're on it. So I want you to be aware there's nothing to worry about. Now, this song that's coming through, I actually thought it was like a love song, but I'm just being given a certain part of it that actually could be relevant here. So let me just tap into it. Never give up on a good thing, whatever makes you happy. Money's tight, working every night. It ain't easy to keep the flame alive, I think it said. Really went muffled there at the end, so I'm hoping, it was going in and out of being muffled. This is a very famous song. I don't know all the lyrics, okay? I've never really paid much attention to all of the lyrics, but I think it's by George Benson, and it's very famous, and I feel for some of you, it could be that you don't mind working really hard, but sometimes it would be nice to have like a support network, or, maybe even if you're not in a loving relationship, you may be craving, a relationship where, you could come home and feel supported by that person, and they tell you about their day, and vice versa, that you support each other's goals and dreams. The lyrics themselves, it feels like it's maintaining momentum as you work towards success, that, it's hard, but you're keeping moving in the right direction. And although it's hard to keep that passion, tenacity alive, because it's a repetitive cycle, working environments, I feel like you've got this, and you are actually working towards something, and this milestone will tell you, there is something to celebrate, some sort of good news, because you have page here, Page of Wands, which indicates news coming in that is actually going to be indicating that there is success, that you're making a difference, you're making your mark in your industry, and it's very exciting. Also listen out for that song. Although I feel like it's a love song for some reason, it could be a sign or a symbol that you're actually going to increase wealth or have more money at the end of the month than you were hoping for, and you're heading in the right direction towards success. There's something coming in, though, that indicates you did a good job, and you'll celebrate this moment, whatever this is. For the majority of you, I see it's a promotion, maybe even a bonus, but I feel it's more like status. It's more that you are making an impact, a mark in your career, and it's about your reputation as well, as being someone who goes above and beyond and is awesome at what they do. Now we have the Strength card. Discover yourself, trust your intuition and your inner wisdom. If you feel like there are some untoward changes going on behind the scenes, things that perhaps you're not privy to, intuitively, I feel like you're right. So just pay close attention there. Also, I would say don't rush into anything, because I feel the month of May, and this is for everybody, because there is suddenly a renewed kind of passion, drive, intensity towards focusing on goals. Don't rush into anything, because I feel there's a high potential of making a mistake, and you may need to return to something, okay? Also, I feel it's more about people around you making mistakes, and you have to return and find a solution or call them up on it. That may be something that you'll have to deal with in the month of May, which is frustrating, but you have the card of endurance, so I feel like you'll deal with that. So for example, if you have to call like a hotline to help you with something, you may be passed around different departments before you actually get to someone who helps you, but this may require you calling back, and it just feels like a bit of a kerfuffle, really, regarding finding a solution on something, but you will find a solution on something. And I'm just giving you like an idea of what it could be. Now we got that Page of Wands, which is passion, tenacity, drive, but also it's the start of a new project. Some of you may be venturing forward on something really exciting or taking things to the next level. This is also about finding purpose in your work. So this whole month really is about celebrating your skill set and recognizing what you're capable of. And you're capable of a lot. So this page is bringing news your way, something you're going to be really enthusiastic about. You're the sort of person who is loyal to your cause or whatever it is that you commit yourself to in the working environment, but also this sees you taking the initiative. So as I said, I feel like, you're working as a team member, but also taking the initiative in your career sector. And I feel like there's something very exciting ahead of you as you move forward. This is also a card that indicates that you may be eager to get new advice on your career sector. So it could be that you're launching yourself into a course of study, or, upskilling in some way, or even like putting what you know in terms of knowledge out there for other people to absorb and learn from, and at the same time set up a second stream of income so that you are gaining finances by, putting that course out there. But pages are more aligned with their true calling. So I definitely see that you're focused on your direction this month and making sure that you're heading in the right direction, and nothing is going to derail you, because I see that some of you may actually withdraw briefly as well to focus on an important project. You don't want to be distracted at this time. I do feel if you work from home, and I don't like to say this, but if you work from home, there may be some level of distraction in the month of May. This could be like some sort of construction work going on outside, or your neighbors are doing DIY. So you may need to come out of the home space and work in a cafe or work somewhere quieter, maybe in the park if you're able to do that. There may be something like that there going on as well. Okay. Now we do have the Hierophant. The Hierophant is a card of like traditions, conventions, but with that card partnered up with it, I feel like some of you are bucking a trend or doing something that other people have done, but you're putting your own unique spin on it, and it's really exciting, whatever it is. Also, this card tells me that people in positions of authority, whether it's in your industry or whether it's in, your company, they're noticing what you do. And they see how excited you are to work, or how enthusiastic you are about your skill set, and they want to elevate you. So I definitely see new contracts or new talks happening. This could be an appraisal that comes in, or maybe someone in your industry reaches out if you're an entrepreneur. Could be a new client reaches out and says, hey, I really love what you do. I want to learn more about what you're capable of, and let's talk about the next steps of your career sector. Also, this is a card of receiving that knowledge I was talking about. So it could be someone new that you meet. I feel they're very important in your career sector. You'll meet this person and they'll give you new knowledge, some sort of hidden knowledge that helps you almost like miss a step in whatever it is you're doing to fast track your way towards something. But as I said, don't rush into anything. Do your due diligence, because I feel like you may need to return to something. For example, it could be that you're filling in a form for a visa if you want to be more nomadic in your career, and you may make an error on that visa that you're filling out, and you're like, ugh, so you have to return to it by getting a new form. That's the sort of energy that I'm picking up, okay? I'm going to pull some cards on money, finances here, because right now I feel like you're focusing on loving what you do and the trajectory of your career path, making sure that you are appreciated. If you feel like you're not utilizing your skill set right now or feel really unfulfilled, you're making some major changes. The Ten of Cups is all about abundance, happy ever after. Some of you may even be trying to save money to go into real estate. I feel there's a lot of responsibility on your shoulders as well. Some of you may be looking after family members, or maybe you have children there. So I feel like you're going to have enough abundance and prosperity coming your way to have that happy home. But also, when you get a Ten of Cups and it is connected to a career reading, it tends to mean, that your focus isn't 100% on money. Of course, that's important, but it's more about you enjoying what you do and the little things in life as well. So thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Great Angels. Anything more on the finances? Okay, Two of Pentacles. There's a small increase here for you, but I feel some of you maybe putting it into savings, but it feels very much easy come, easy go. Okay, so it feels like there's a small increase in money, and some of it may go out into bills, and some of it you may lock it away into a savings plan or put it into your pension. So you're still investing in yourself, but at the same time it feels like easy come, easy go, because you're being really strict with yourself, or responsible, shall we say, and putting some money aside for a rainy day. But I actually feel like you won't need rainy day money. I feel like it's just going to build and build and build. Two of Wands also indicates that there may be two streams of income here, or, it feels very much like one stream of income is going to be increased and the other one, it won't be down, it may plateau, is what I see. So it could be that it swings in roundabouts a little bit, that, I just feel like two sources of money coming towards you in the month of May. This could be like your usual money if you work for a company, and then there's a bonus that comes in. Or if you are someone who works on commission, it could be that, your sales are up and suddenly you get more commission this month. For others, it could be an increase in your overall pay packet. And of course, if you work for yourself, I see new clients coming in, okay, that require your knowledge. And I feel make sure you get everything in writing. Okay, make sure there is like a contract between you both, because for some of you, especially if you're freelance, I feel like there is a potential for someone to, reach out for your services, but try not to pay for them. They may try to knock you down, especially if you're a freelancer or you're someone who's creative. They may try to negotiate your work or your skills or your service, and you're like, no, if you went to like a store, if you went to the mall, for example, and you're purchasing, I don't know, a jacket, you wouldn't go up to the person behind the counter and say, look, I know this is $100, but I'll give you 20 for it. You just don't do that. So it's the same with your skills. You are really good at what you do, and no one should get the opportunity to negotiate how they pay you. If you feel like you desire a certain level of money for your skill set, then that is non-negotiable. That is what you've set your price at. So this month is all about valuing yourself, valuing a skill set. And if you feel unappreciated or unvalued where you're at right now, then you're making some major changes that you may not let everybody know about, but when the moment is right, you'll reveal it. And I feel actually they'll be sorry to see you go. But, I feel it's a little bit too late then, okay? Thanks so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Capricorn? What do they need to know? Can you please guide them for their highest good? Okay, so we have the waxing crescent. The current energies are on your side. Rebuilding, motivation, and serendipity. So as I said, there is an opportunity popping up for you in May. It may feel a little bit like, whoa, this is happening too fast. So you may want to slow down the pace a little bit, but you're on it and you've got this, and it's an opportunity sent to you for a reason. For some of you, if you're a creative, for example, because this is just coming through and it's not going to resonate with everyone. So, for example, if you're a performer and you're understudying someone who is a really big celebrity, for example, suddenly that celebrity may be unwell, or they've got a prior engagement that they've negotiated some time out of that show, and suddenly you're thrust into the limelight to take over from that person, and then your career is like taken off. Also, it could be that if you're a gigging person, you're a musician, for example, and, you applied to perform at a certain place and they were overbooked and they said, not this time, maybe next season. Suddenly, you may get a call to say, you're up. We want you, actually, because, someone else pulled out. Or it could be that they've listened to all the acts and they feel that that act is not suitable for what they're presenting that night. And they think, actually, we'd rather have Capricorn there. Now, I'm not saying that you've not been chosen first and that you're like a second chance or a second person in line. I don't feel that at all. I just feel like the circumstances happened that these people were in those roles first, and then you came along, and then they couldn't do it, and now you're stepping in and you're really showcasing yourself. So I'm just trying to give you an idea of what I feel is happening, but this could happen in any industry: construction, catering, the financial industry. So please take it as it resonates and apply it to your situation. Also, we've got Moon Goddess. So this says here, you're reaching your full potential, feminine energy, spiritual realms, and radiance. So you're having a glow up in your career. As I said, there's something of a milestone happening here for you, something that you will celebrate. And it feels like a stepping stone towards reaching that full potential, because I feel it's not you completely achieving a goal in the month of May. I feel like you achieve lots of little ones, but the big one you're still working towards. But there's a major milestone on that path that lets you know you're nearly there. And it's exciting times that lay ahead, okay? So I hope something resonates in this reading for you, my beautiful Capricorn. If it does, please like and subscribe to my channel. Completely free for you. All you have to do is press a little bell that lets you know when I update my next message. It lets me know that you resonate with the reading, which is so important for me too. And finally, we have, I'm loving this. As soon as I'm holding this, suddenly I see an image in the water. Lots of gold coins. They look like, those little chocolate gold coins that you see in the store. So you may see some of those in the next 6 weeks randomly that indicate you're going to get an increase in money, or that there's more wealth headed your way, okay? It could also be that someone gifts you it as a little surprise. They could leave it on your desk, or perhaps a family member says, hey, I was at the store and I thought of you and I got this. So please take it as it resonates. I mean, it's basically showing me like a little net of money, and I feel it is symbolic of, more increased wealth or sweet reward perhaps for all the hard work that you've been investing in your career. Now, we do have a clock, so some of you may feel a little bit on the clock in the month of May. Time is definitely a factor. You don't want to waste your time. And that could be across the board. You making sure that you are utilizing your skill set, that you feel stretched in the right way. And if you feel like you're wasting your time in some area, then you're gone. Also, I feel like you're looking at your schedule this month to make sure that you manage stress or manage pressure. I feel like you're prioritizing to make sure that you're not left, at the last minute trying to cram everything in. We also have, I'm loving this, we have the gift rune, and that's all about opportunities. When you get this rune, it's about good fortune, or a change in fortune there, a lucky break. It could also represent partnerships or someone coming in that can help you in your career sector or give you some information. But it also is about you checking in with your gifts, looking at what you have to offer the working environment, the skill set that you have. And if you feel like you want to upskill or, maybe learn something new to get a qualification or a certification, I definitely see it can only help you on your path as you rise. And finally, we got the horse rune. Loving that. That's progress, future success, major changes, but movement. Trust the process. Okay. So I feel there's some exciting things ahead for you. Also, it's like a racehorse. You may feel like you're at the starting position, even though you've come so far in your career already, and suddenly the gates are open and then you are galloping towards that finish line. And I feel like you will reach that finish line and you will be first. So I feel that you're heading in the right direction, and keep that momentum going is what I see there. And if you are currently looking for a role, I see a new one coming up that allows you to have that springboard towards success. Okay, so I'll leave it there. Thank you so much, my beautiful Capricorn, and love and light.